All right, nerds, welcome to another episode of That Just Happened. I did not intend for this to be a bi-weekly show. Last week, I didn't print my notes because ADD. I printed the notes for the news show and just kind of assumed that that was all I needed. This is a new show. It's starting a little rocky, but that's to be expected. Once again, I'm a one-man production house. I do all of this by myself, so sometimes there's hiccups and bumps in the road. All of that being said, let's catch up on what is going on, what I am currently interacting with in the community, in all of the nerddom. Then you guys can join in the conversation down in the comment section. Let me know what you think about the things that I'm doing. Let me know the things that you're watching that you're really digging, or your games you're playing, or books you're reading. Awesome stuff like that. That's what these shows are all about. So, first on the docket is The Walking Dead. I said it in the most recent episode of the news show. I'm super stoked to finally get to finish this series. I am 3-4 episodes into the final season now. Took me a second to get there. I had to kind of backtrack a little bit, refresh my memory with a couple episodes, and then get all the way through season 10. Now I'm into season 11. This is heavy, man. Like, I don't understand how it lost so much of its fan base. Like, yeah, there were a couple of weak seasons in the middle. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna make excuses. Like, I fully understand. There were definitely some weaker seasons in the middle of the run of this show, but the first 4 seasons of this show should have been enough to even the most jaded of people should have been like, you know what? It was really great a minute ago. Let's give it another season and see what happens. Or maybe just revisit for a couple episodes every couple seasons and go, hey, this is picking back up. Let's catch up, shall we? Because now that it's done, I guess, season 11, and we're gearing up for all of the spin-offs. I think there's 3 spin-offs. There's the Rick story is gonna happen somehow, and then we got the Daryl show, and then we got the Maggie and Negan show. And that's, I believe, all of the spin-offs. And Fear the Walking Dead is coming to an end. So yeah, very interesting. Though that's going to have its own spin-offs because they plan on making this a giant universe going forward. So yeah, this is probably the best, in my humble opinion. I honestly think that The Walking Dead is the best zombie IP ever. Just the breakdown of the human psyche and all of the different ways that everything could go wrong while you have this one group of people that's trying to do it right. Man, it's just beautiful storytelling. So yeah, I don't get the whole why people stopped watching that show. That's enough rambling for Walking Dead. Let's talk about The Last of Us. Episode 3, I feel like we've kind of beat a dead horse with that one by this point. I really thought it was beautiful. Just kind of unnecessary for a number of reasons. Again, we've talked about that ad nauseum. So, episode 4 is super freaking heavy. This is getting into the relationship of Ellie and Joel, and you get to see Joel finally do the things as a dad that he didn't get to do with his daughter in a very heavy and twisted kind of way, because he's trying to protect Ellie in this post-apocalyptic world where people are really out to get each other, on top of the fact that you have these creatures, the cordyceps zombies. Like that is such a mind screw anyway. And then he's trying to protect this little girl's innocence. Like, wow, that was, oh my God, this is great storytelling. Like, again, while I do think The Walking Dead is a better zombie series, like, this is really damn good on top of it. This is similar ground, though, that we tread in The Walking Dead, I believe in season 5 5, when Carol had the 2 little girls, and the one little girl was really obsessed with the zombies and turned her little sister into a zombie. Yeah, so oh man. And then there's the other stuff. There's the other stuff. Besides just that really great dynamic of Ellie and Joel, we have new characters for episode 4. We have Kathleen, who seems to be the leader of these people, and then her right-hand man, Perry. Perry is very noteworthy because the actor who plays him, Jeffrey Pierce, also is the voice of Tommy, Joel's brother, in the game. That's pretty cool. Who is Kathleen? I think that Kathleen is going to, I mean, again, I've never played the game. I know kind of broad strokes about where it goes and what happens, but I don't know a lot of the details. I honestly can't remember off the top of my head how it ends. But I think that Kathleen is going to turn from an antagonist by the end of, I don't think she's going to be throughout the entire season. I think she's only going to last probably 3 episodes. So we got the first one with episode 4, the second one will be episode 5, and then her final episode will be probably episode 6 or 7. I'll put money on 6, though it could go to 7. And then the final episode is episode 8, and that's where we're going to, really see the, yeah. Actually, no. Let's play it this way. I honestly think that the Fireflies and this group of people, again, I don't know what the name of this group is that Kathleen is in charge of, but I think that's going to be the major conflict at the end of the series. So I take it back. She is going to last to the end of the season. I don't know if she'll make it past this season. Whatever. Season 2 of this show is going to be potentially a giant mess as well. Yeah. Oh, if you are wondering why you recognize Kathleen, the actress's name is Melanie Lynskey. She was in 2.5 Men with Charlie Sheen. She was the crazy neighbor. She's done a number of things since, but that's probably one of the more noteworthy ones. She's been in a number of movies and stuff too, so it is what it is. Then Lockwood & Company, or Lockwood & Co, as they refer to it repeatedly in the series. Netflix has this really quirky little action X-Files thing, post-apocalyptic future. It's such a weird amalgamation. It's based on a book series, apparently, and it's a YA book series, so it's really safe for most preteens to teens on up. It is fairly violent, and there is some strongish language, so definitely if you haven't read the books, maybe you want to get into that before your kids do, just so you know exactly what they're getting into. But I mean, the series, the Netflix series, it's really good at hooking you. This is kind of surface level stuff. There's not a whole lot of depth there, but again, YA fiction, not to be expected. It does do a pretty good job at doing what's the mystery box thing that J.J. Abrams likes to do with his movies. We have a number of mystery boxes, not the least of which the main mystery box of what the hell happened to this world, and then the other mystery box that kind of comes up from time to time, what's in that little closet that they go into at the end of the last episode? What is he hiding? So yeah, honestly, I'm going to be a little surprised if this gets more than 1 season. Just because Netflix is Netflix and they like to cancel things that are pretty nerdy, but not the most popular necessarily. And their definition of popularity is so garbage to begin with that whatever. But if you haven't watched it, I honestly think that Lockwood & Co is definitely worth some time. Then we're going to talk about the end of the Supernatural prequel series, the Winchesters. Did Jensen Ackles... spoiler alert, by the way. If you haven't watched it and you care, which I don't think a lot of the fan base does, but there's a little bit of a spoiler alert. We're going to talk about some really stupid shenanigans the last episode. I didn't watch beyond, I believe it was episode 4, so there's a lot of stuff that I didn't see. But did Jensen Ackles really just do a whole prequel series so he can come back to this franchise? Why not just continue into season 17? Yeah. That's all I really have to say about that. That was just so much of that show was wrong that I'm not surprised that they ended with something stupid like that. Anyway, also, live music. I went and saw Big Bad Voodoo Daddy this last week, and if you are not into swing, then we are not friends. That's not entirely true. You can like whatever you want to like, but swing is a lot of fun, and I don't understand why people don't like big band music. Big band, like vocal jazz, kind of more upbeat than Frank Sinatra, but kind of in the same vein. Still vocal jazz, so yes. These guys, it was an interesting situation. It was at a theater that doesn't have like an open pit floor area, and generally speaking, concerts that I go to have a general admission area that's right up against the stage, because that's where heavy metal fans like to beat each other up. And again, that is really reductive. That's not actually what happens in a mosh pit, but that's what people think happens in a mosh pit. This didn't have that. And this is swing music. So like it's dancing music, and it's a bunch of seats in this jazz theater. The proper orchestra actually is really what this theater was designed for. So having a swing band play to seated audience was really awkward. If you don't know, if you kind of remember Big Bad Voodoo Daddy, I believe we talked about them about a year ago. They put out a new record. But their big song was, I'm going to forget it now that I'm on camera. Of course I am. Yeah, You and Me and the Bottle Makes Three. So, you and me and the bottle makes three tonight. Yo, Jack, yeah, what's it gonna be? Ba-ba-da-da-da-da. Yeah, that song. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, man. I wish I didn't have a bogus back, and I wish that there wasn't a million seats in the way, because we totally would have danced the night away. But that then led us into a movie selection that probably kind of flew under the radar for a lot of people because of the very heavy subject matter. So again, coming into this little piece of what just happened. Very heavy subject matter, but Christian Bale, and I'm going to forget his name, but I did remember to put that in the notes. Robert Sean Leonard. Robert Sean Leonard was the other male doctor in House. He was House's buddy in the series. He and Christian Bale, when they were late teens, early 20s in 1993, did a movie called Swing Kids, which this movie, again, lots of swing music, so upbeat dancing and all that stuff, set to a backdrop of World War II in Germany, no less. Like the events leading into World War II Germany. So you got the Hitler Youth and you got the Swing Kids. Swingjugend, I think is what they called them in German. Yeah, it's a really good movie. It's very well done. Christian Bale, even at such a young age, I mean, he was in the Newsies as well, but even at such a young age, still an amazing actor and deserves all of the praise. But this is heavy stuff. I really dig the movie. I kind of forgot just how heavy it was, though. I mean, I should have remembered because I did remember the World War II part. So yeah, if you haven't seen this, it's worth a watch if you are okay with such heavy topics. But yeah, what movies are you guys watching? I wanna hear from the community. What movies are you guys watching? What series are you really digging into? Maybe it's something that's been out for a minute and you're just finally binge watching. I still haven't seen Breaking Bad. I've never finished The Sopranos. I've never watched The Wire. So these are all things that I'm working towards eventually. I started The Wire. I can't say I've never watched it. I've seen the first 2 episodes, but that's it. Yeah, so I don't know. Let's have the conversation, man. Let's do the thing. That is what I've got for you. So whatever you got for me, talk about it downstairs in the comments section. Don't forget to subscribe. And you know, if you want to join these conversations, the best way to do that is to subscribe and click the video for previous episodes and all that. And we'll see you in the next one. Before we go, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.